Then ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa a short time ago trying to clarify remarks that he made, saying the party must look to DA-led municipalities on doing better. He made that statement when he was addressing ANC councillors during the party's call to action roll call held earlier this week. Speaking to SABC News exclusively a short time ago, the president of the ANC said he was referring to the Auditor-General's findings, which said that municipalities governed by the DA often were better run and received more clean audits than the ANC. He says that the clean audits do not mean the best government for all. Let's take this further now with Ntsikilelo Breakfast, Dr. Ntsikilelo Breakfast joining us on the program this evening. Good to have your time. So if this was an attempt by President Ramaphosa to clean up those remarks about the DA doing better at local government, how well do you think he's done?
No, I think he fell short of doing that. I think whether there was a context in what he said or not, what he said was off the mark. He should never have said that, because by so doing, he was basically kicking off a campaign of the DA. And you cannot blame the DA for framing a narrative that even the president says to his own members, they must look up to the DA. That is exactly how the statement was going to be interpreted. So you can't blame the DA because he was like giving them a gift. So I just think that the statement was very careless. It was very unwise in my view, because politics is about competing with others. How do you say that your members, they must look up to a political party that you are in competition with? If you want to be honest, you can articulate that view from my standpoint in private, but not say it in public, because that statement is going to be used.
And that was actually,
and the DA.
That was actually going to be my question, sir. Is the issue that President Ramaphosa said this, or that he said it in what was an open session, so all of us were able to hear?
Yes, he should never have said that in public. He should never have said that, because the statement, obviously, it was going to be interpreted in favor of the DA. Now the DA is using that statement as part of its campaign. And you can't blame them, because the president actually was implying that the DA has an upper hand in terms of getting the job done. You know, today he tried to justify it, but the damage is done, unfortunately, and what is done cannot be undone, because he will not be able to sort out the mess that he has created.
But
that was, yeah.
Pardon me, apart from the DA then making political hay of the comments made in public by the ANC president, how much damage will they do really? Because the failures of the ANC in municipalities where it governs, i.e. Johannesburg, where it's lost its outright majority, Tshwane, etc., Ekurhuleni, and other parts of the country as well, have been clear for people to see, and that is why we've seen it regress so much during its electoral performance. So is it not an insult to the voter to suggest that this would be what ultimately influences them when they are living the shortcomings and the failures of the ANC?
Remember, the DA has been framing this discourse that wherever it governs well. Mm-hmm. So the president now, basically what he did was to reinforce that central thesis, right? That's why the DA was over the moon, immediately took that message and then shared it with the whole country, that even the president says that we are up to scratch. But the statement also at that time, it needed to be explained, because the DA, yes, they might get clean audits year in and year out, but then they fall short in terms of reducing the divide between the powerful and the powerless. Go to Cape Town, and there was no qualification to that statement to strike that balance. So I just think that he was, you see, I can bet my bottom dollar the DA will never acknowledge in public the strong points of the ANC. Why? Because they know that they are in competition. So why then do you make a statement in favor of them? Because by so doing, you're giving them an upper hand.
And why would someone who's been in government, in politics, as long as the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa has been there, make such a public blunder?
You know what, of late, I don't know what is happening, but he strikes me as a motivational speaker. as opposed to being a politician. Politics is not only about power, it's about art. You must have a way of outmaneuvering those that you are in competition with. And I think he has lost touch, in my view. That statement, I was shocked that, the whole president of a political party, a president is the image of the party, can make a statement like that. It was a very, I'm sorry to say this, but a very unwise statement. I'm sorry for using a very strong word. It was a very unwise statement.
You must be a very polite gentleman if unwise is a strong word for you. Nonetheless, I want to ask you a final question then. On the gathering itself, this roll call that was held earlier this week, because it wasn't just the ANC president who was critical of the councillors. The chairperson, Gwede Mandashe, basically said to them, great singers, but a wonderful chorus does not deliver on good governance. So do you think the events of this week are enough to light a fire under these councillors to want to do better? Do you think they finally realize just how high the stakes are for the ANC going into a local government election year in 2026?
Yeah, again, I was, taken aback by Uncle Gwede Mandashe, cracking a joke about that his own troops, they fall short of getting the job done at local government level. You must have seen the pushback or the backlash after he made that statement. I don't know why. I don't get the sense that the ANC takes the citizens of this country seriously the way they should. And the idea of a roll call is all well and good, but I think it's too late. And unfortunately, I think there will be national consequences for the ANC at the polls.
Professor Ntsikilelo,
for them, yeah.
Apologies. Professor Ntsikilelo Breakfast, good to have you on the SABC. Thank you for your time.